integral with my upbringing. I doubt I will ever play MKX. I've not played FF12. I have seen someone play FF12 for far longer than they should have. Favorite RPG? Again, FF7. Favorite artists? I like Escher. Some of his work can be very trippy and educational, so there's that. Favorite rocket-propelled grenade? Gonna go with the RPG-7. Favorite Yu-Gi-Oh deck? I mean, I still have my... Back when I played Yu-Gi-Oh, my deck consisted primarily of starter Yu-Gi cards with a few booster cards thrown in. I have Read to Kill a Mockingbird. I had to read it for school, and... Okay, so there is this... I didn't read it for school when I had to, because I didn't care. But we had this test on it, and my English teacher at the time, or literature teacher at the time, decided that she was really going to make the people who didn't read it feel like complete and utter shit. She gave us a word bank. So you have the term, like a character name or whatever it is, and then you have a bank full of words or descriptions on the other side. You had to match the letters with the words. She put them in alphabetical order. So you literally just wrote A, B, C, D all the way down the page, and you got 100 if you knew what they were. But those who didn't read it guessed horribly, and they just filled things in, and it didn't work out. Favorite character type in RPG games? I'm not sure what that means. Gargoyles was decent. The BTAS was decent, along with Justice League. Didn't care much for the Zeta Project. That was a show that was very short-lived, but I enjoyed it. Do I speak any languages other than English? I do not. I took 6 years of Spanish, and I took like a semester of Chinese. No, I think I took 2 semesters of Chinese. No, it was 1 semester. I took a year of French a long time ago. Like that was 5th grade. But that's about it. I suppose Melee, Lise. Who wouldn't want brownies? Jackie Chan Adventures, yes. Angry Crow Takes Flight. Akuma reminds me so much of Hawk Fu, it's ridiculous. I've never cared for Mortal Kombat. I've tried it. I just don't care for the way you have to go about the combos. The mechanics kind of bother me. Nothing against people that play it. Like, it has lasted this long. It has to be good to someone. People enjoy it. I'm just not one of those people. Least favorite movie, The Happening. I'd be pretty okay with Samuel L. Jackson yelling at me on a plane. I've watched up until the first episode of Season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Favorite cartoon show? That's difficult. There have been a lot. Favorite video game OST? That is also difficult. I guess the most memorable for me would be Final Fantasy VII. Like, if I hear 2 seconds of any FF7, dear God, the hell was... That was unexpected. But if I hear 2 seconds of any FF7 track, I can probably identify it. It's been a while since I've read... Well, Trying to think of the last full-length, like, novel that I've read. Christ, what was it called? It's gonna bug me, but it was... It's on the tip of my tongue. I'll find it. Because I think I know where it is, but I'll find it later. And I'll post it, I guess. But it was about... Letters from a Peruvian Woman. There we go. That was it. I am absolutely in the Tupperware fandom. I have not watched Over the Garden Wall. I don't know what that is. Most memorable episode of any cartoon. Over the Edge, I think the episode was called, in Volume 4 of Batman the Animated Series. I remember that vividly. And I downloaded that via Kazaa, I think, a long time ago. Because I enjoyed it so much. I've played Tenchi Wrath of Heaven, I think. Favorite FF7 character? I mean, the only one who I don't really care for is Cait Sith, and that's because he's not really a character. Have a good night, Razor Pain. Ursula. Send me that name somewhere else. Lali Lulelo is a blatant MGS reference. Game I wish I hadn't played. Not really. I mean, if I don't like a game, I just don't play it. Admittedly, I don't really watch too many... Like, I'll watch YouTube videos, but I don't follow any YouTubers. I never have. Neighbors' dogs. Big Trouble in Little China is yes. Favorite place that I visited? I don't know, I'm torn between the Santa Monica Pier and the Redondo Beach. Little Tokyo was also pretty good. I don't know, the finale of Airbender was pretty good. Trying to think. Oh, the episode of Princess Moon was also good. And the sort of memoirs episode where it jumped from character to character was good. Most disappointing game ending. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna have to think on that. Place I want to visit for nerdy reasons. I want to go to all of the places where they film Game of Thrones. Have a good night, Cadius. I've never been to Wyoming. I use an AT2020 for microphone, and you tell me, is it any good? I met the crew through Campbell, and I met Campbell through Gmod. Could do over one event or go back, or get back any time spent on anything. I miss the days of Resident Evil Outbreak. If there was a way I could relive that time for like a day, I'd do it. My fashion sense is nonsensical. Have a good night, Mr. Bojangles. Do you do anything special with yours, Sean? Like, how is configuring it? Because I've been playing around with settings for, well, pretty much since I had it. Favorite comic villain? First one that jumped to mind is the Joker, and I'm not sure if that's because he's the Joker and he's automatically the first thing that comes to mind when people think comic book villains, or because I legitimately enjoy him more than others. I mean, I do legitimately enjoy him as a character. I think he's fantastic. I think at this point, Batman in general is pretty old hat, but I still appreciate the characters. Hang on. It really depends on the game, Lise. I mean, if you're talking about something like Dark Souls, you want a controller. I think it's a solid investment. But I wouldn't use it for something like PlanetSide. My niece did try to teach me how to juggle like 4 years ago. I think it was 4 years ago. It was. And I began to learn, but I stopped practicing and never picked it back up. Greatest goal in life. Beating through the fire and flames on expert. No, that is not true. I enjoyed Dexter. There were a couple of seasons that weren't great, but I enjoyed it overall. If I could have one superpower, probably either telekinesis or regeneration. Telekinesis because, well, telekinesis. And regeneration because that would be fun. That would make everything fun. Who needs a parachute? Oh, when I had that was a great inspiration. When I visited California, what was that, 2 years ago now? 1 or 2 years ago, somewhere in between there. My sister took me to the beach, and it was the first time I'd been on a beach. She took me there, and I walked to the ocean, and it was the first time I'd seen it, because first time on a beach. And that inspired quite a bit, writing-wise and ideals-wise. Favorite season of Dexter? See, I was a fan of, what was it, the 5th season with Lumen. I enjoyed that season. A lot of people did, and I thought it was good. But favorite villain, absolutely Trinity. Trinity was fantastic. If I could be a mythical creature, I would... Biggest crush when I was younger. I don't know if you mean like celebrity crush or, because I didn't really have many. Well, yeah, I didn't really have many of those. I didn't really have many traditional crushes either. My eyes are boring brown. I have not seen a whale. The ocean was good. I enjoyed that. I did not start calling myself Snake. I happened to play a lot of Zombie Master, and people were like, oh my goodness, you sound like this video game character. And I went, what? No, I don't. And then I listened, and then I went, holy shit. Like, I had played MGS before that, and it never really occurred to me. And I just sort of went with it. Why can't I pull out the TV? I have not played Dragon's Dogma, but I am looking forward to Dragon's Dogma Online. I do not own any firearms. If I were to own one, I would either get a Beretta PX4 Storm or a Matiba auto revolver. I assume I'm Ravenclaw. I don't know much about Harry Potter though, but every test that I've been forced to take involving Harry Potter house sorting has put me in Ravenclaw. Favorite pre-2000s cartoon? Geez. Yeah, Animaniacs. Kinda have to go with that. Before Snake, I went by a lot of different names. Like there was a time I went by just Shadow for a while, as awful as that sounds. What else? Or a bunch more that are either embarrassing or incriminating, so I'm not going to share them. But I've had many different handles. I would not mind that at all. Silly. The Citadel, I would have to go with. Dragon's Dogma Online will happen here in the US. Any pet peeves? Close-mindedness, rudeness, people touching and or moving my shit. I have a system. Advanced Wargame. I don't like Ghost Recon, do you mean? Or I don't know what those are. Unless they're their own thing. I have not. Oh, that is tough. White cheddar cheeses are delicious, but so are normal. I'm gonna have to go with normal, though. Pixar, DreamWorks, I don't know, they've both done good things. I cannot answer that. Archery. I don't mind archery. I have no tattoos. Would I get one? Well, I did tell my best friend's sister, who is a tattoo artist, that I will allow her to get me a Pikachu tramp stamp. So I pray she never makes me ante up. You could submit the drawing to my Tumblr or Twitter if you'd like. I don't yell. I don't like yelling is also a peeve of mine. I hate noise. Like, I mean, if it's noise with purpose, sure. But people yelling, it's just like, stop. I would say I was fairly well behaved. I didn't go out of my way to do drugs or drink or anything like that. I just didn't care enough. Like, none of that stuff interested me. Well, I didn't want the Patriots to win, that's for bloody sure. I never want them to win. I don't really do impressions. honestly. Not well, anyway. I know I haven't really tried many. Favorite stealth game? If we're talking stealth, I'm gonna have to go with MGS. I prefer Waffles, absolutely. I don't have very long hair. Favorite class in an MMO? Depends on the MMO. I typically... Like, Ranger has been my go-to for things like Guild Wars. I have the most hours logged as a Ranger than any other class. Favorite quote? All of us wear masks. They can be worn out of love and the desire to remain close to those around us, to spare them from the complicated reality of our frayed psyches. We trade honesty for companionship, and in the process we never truly know the hearts closest to us. I played both Guild Wars. Most frustrating game. I don't know. Platformers in general are pretty frustrating for me. Especially, well, yeah, like 2D platformers kick my ass. They take me a very long time to master, more so than any other game. I don't know why. Hardest test I've had to take. I don't know, it might have been an AP Bio test, or... There was a theology test I had to take one time that was utter bullshit. That was because the professor decided that he was not going to stick to his study guide. Valentine's Day is coming up, so flowers and chocolate absolutely would not hurt. Favorite Pokemon is... well... that is my favorite Pokemon. Dugong and or Sugong. Favorite Attack on Titan's character, probably Mikasa. Though... I can appreciate Madame Potato as well.